Hey guys, it's Richard the Human here, back with another great video. And I've been on a bit of a Women's History Month arc for a while on this channel, and I think I forgot. I thought that March was 32 days, so I kind of had to rush. I just went to bed, and I searched up how many days are in March just to make sure, and it said 31. So I kind of had to rush and get everything set up because I was gonna do this tomorrow, but it's okay. So, guys, we've covered a lot on why women are great, why we love women, but today we're gonna have a bit of more of a somber topic today. This is the sad history of misogyny. I don't like misogyny. Nobody likes misogyny, but we have to talk about it because it is our history, right? So, here we go. Um, we've already said how great women are and how incredibly amazing women are. This is just something that's really been said. Why is I didn't click that? That's kind of creepy. But there's some evil men that think that women are not cool, which is just absolutely insane. You're insane. Which is true because they are. Which, how could you look at women and be like, ew, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's just, when I see women, I think of butterflies and rainbows and amazing things. But these people, I think of disgusting things, which doesn't make any sense to me. Not at all. And, the fact that misogyny exists, it just makes me pissed off. And I'm not going to get as angry as I did in the Women's History Month video where I started throwing things. I'll try to contain myself, but sorry, it just makes me very angry. Misogyny and all that. But there has to be a reason that why people are like the way they are with this, right? Nothing just happens because, right? And we're gonna find out today. Why? Oh. Okay, so in the beginning, right? God created the heavens and the earth, and there was a man named John Misogyny. After Adam and Eve, God decided, you know what? Let me start up this new thing. I'm gonna make a guy named John Misogyny. And this is an actual picture of him. And yeah, John Misogyny. And he lived in a world where there was only men, so he didn't really understand the pleasantness of women, I grew up with that as a child, so it must have been very hard on him to not see a woman his whole life. It would be surprising for me too, because women, you have to get like acclimated to women, you get used to women, the first time I saw a woman, I was, whoa, what the heck is this thing, right? I was very confused. Why is their chest so big? I don't understand. Why is their rear end so large? I don't really get that. And I had to understand the why, As I grew up, I had to learn why women are like that, Which is she's back. She's back. She's back. But eventually he did find a woman, and he experienced all of those strange feelings that all men feel when they first see a woman. They get, confused. What are these things? I don't really get it. But, he eventually figured it out. And he fell in love with the woman, which is beautiful. It was a really, feelings blossomed forth. It was a beautiful moment, but something terrible happened. She broke up with him, which is something that happens. Something that happens with women. And, they had an argument and she just broke up with him because, and he became so angry. Kind of like how angry I got when I realized that Women's History Month was ending. And, this made him so angry that he became sexist. And he vowed to destroy all women, which you shouldn't do because women, with no women, like, what? Yeah, it's an awful thing because women are awesome. Even this slideshow agrees with me, you know? Uh, so people ran with the idea and they hated women. But, of course, the March War, we've all, learned about this. I won't, harp on it too much because we've all learned about the March War, how women fought for their rights. Which, I was actually in that war and I fought for the women. And I'm proud to be a March War veteran. I'm proud to help give women what they truly deserve. And what women truly deserve is to be treated like a woman. And now women are equal to men. There are no other issues between men and women. There are no other social topics that have to do with something between a man and a woman. There's nothing at all that's happened since then. There's no sexism. There's no other things. Everything's just perfect. Alright, everybody. Thank you for listening about the evils of misogyny because this is something that our generation really needs to be educated about. And I feel like, our schools aren't doing that. I feel like it should be their responsibility to do that. And, as I said, women are like the perfect embodiment of everything that's good, And, John Misogyny, he just didn't understand that, when the woman broke up with him. He became very upset. And yeah, I don't know why I'm stretching this to 8 minutes. I don't have monetization yet, but I'm still gonna stretch it to 8 minutes. So, yeah, Max Brown actually doesn't like women, of course, Add another to the list of his wrongdoings, right? And, a Max Brown video might be coming soon. I'm not really too sure. I kind of have to lie low in the Max Brown department because I'm not really sure. He's trying to group up a gang of super criminals, but we're gonna stop him because we always do, right? And Max Brown, he just doesn't understand the greatness of women, and I think that's one of his biggest flaws that we haven't even talked about this on the channel yet. And Max Brown, just an evil man if you really think about it. And I think Brandon thinks he's a redemption man. I don't think so. I think he's beyond redemption. But thanks for listening about misogyny. We need to learn about this, and I'm glad to have educated you about the truth about misogyny. Thank you.